Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
What's up, everybody? This is Jeff.
And Ben.
From Toking with the Dead.
And Still Toking With.
And Still Toking With. Still Toking With is our live show. Yes. You can catch that every Wednesday.
At 7 p.m.
Eastern.
That's
Eastern time.
Yeah,
If you live in fucking California, it's got to be 3.
No, 4.
4?
Yeah. They're only 3 hours behind.
What about daylight savings?
Yeah, well, fuck that. We'll worry about that one.
Okay, so if you're on the West Coast, you're going to have to look up when 6 o'clock is out there compared to here.
Which would be actually 7 o'clock out there instead of here.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
You know, before this is over, I'm going to need a whole lot of serious therapy.
You're all fucked up today.
Another $1 for the swear jar.
I'm always fucked up. You should tune into the show and see really how fucked up I can get.
Oh, yeah.
Well, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
And when you do tune in, you're going to see amazing guests like this.
Hey, this is Courtney Gaines. You know me from such movies as Children of the Corn, Can't Buy Me Love, Burbs, even Back to the Future.
Hey everybody, this is Anderson Williams, and I'm going to be on Still Toking With.
Hi, I'm Deadeye Swackhammer, and you're listening to Still Toking With.
Hey guys, it's Boston comedian Dave Russo, and you're listening to Still Toking. Do not change that dial. I'm going to punch you in the face. You fuckers. In the face.
Hi, this is Steve Wallace from ET&Q Show, and you're listening to Still Toking With on the Dorkening Podcast Network.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another kick-ass episode of Still Toking With. I'm me. That's who I am. You already know who I am. And unfortunately, my normal co-host, Jeff, is down with the tummy bug, so he's not with us tonight. But filling in for him is the man, Jags.
Does that mean I need to act like Jeff tonight?
No, please don't.
And act like a grumpy old man with radically inappropriate shit at the wrong times?
Well, that's normal for you, isn't it?
True. All right.
You're just right. A younger version.
Very, very younger.
And as always, the man that brings the flash to flashy, the newest member of the family, my man, Jeffrey Mark.
Am I flashy enough for you today?
You are. The bling is blinging.
I bring it, baby. I bring it.
So,
and I love being inappropriate. It's lovely.
How are you this fine evening?
It is winding out here in the California desert. So I'm sniffly a little bit from allergies, but other than that, I'm raring to go. We're going to have quite an hour.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So tonight's guests are joining us from Colorado. I'm not going to get into the story. I'm going to let them do that because that's what the show is about. It's not about me. It's about them. But without any further ado, let's welcome the gentleman here from Miracle Farms.
Hey, how's it going?
What's happening, gentlemen? Real quick, just for our viewers, it's easier. I'll just let you do it. Introduce yourselves.
So I'm Jonathan Negrin. They call me the Miracle Kid. We'll get into that a little bit later. This is my boy right here.
I'm Jameson, and I'm one of the guys that's involved with Miracle Farms, and we're trying to make something happen.
Very cool, very cool. So, Miracle Farms. What is Miracle Farms?
What is it? We're still trying to figure that out.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer.
No, we're a cannabis company out of Colorado, and we're 4 best friends that met in high school and followed a journey of a friend that passed away of cancer, and cannabis kind of kept him going. So we were kind of his guinea pigs at the beginning, you know, and it kind of just went from there, you know.
Very cool. Very cool. So it all started on a medicinal aspect, or were you guys all partaking prior to?
Allegedly, we were. Allegedly. I was 14, 15 years old when I started, so allegedly. But no, when my brother was going through his chemo and his radiation, he did, 4.5 years in the hospital, almost 5 years, did 4 bone marrow transplants, which is unheard of. You don't hear that shit ever. Right. After the second one and that chemo and radiation kicks your ass, that's what pretty much kills you. But my brother was tough enough to actually figure out to close the protocols for Fanconi Anemia, which is the type of disease that I have. that he died from. So now they don't even use radiation for our type of cancer because it was melting the kids inside out and killing them. Now they just do a flat chemotherapy, and the percentage of survival has gone up tremendously.
Okay.
Is it usual that two brothers in the same family would get that? Is
Yes,
that a common
actually,
thing?
yes, it is because it's a genetic disease. So it's weird. So my mom and my dad, it's like 1 out of like 3.8 million people have to meet to have the same DNA structure to create this disease Fanconi, and then 2 out of 4 get it. And my parents so happened, my dad's pull-out game wasn't that strong, so he got 4 kids. So 2 out of 4 got it. Well, I'm a twin brother, so he hit a double-double on the third. Yeah.
So you got it, but your twin brother did not, or was it your twin?
My twin brother's still alive. He's actually in the greenhouse working right now. We have some joint orders that he's putting together that we have to send out tomorrow. But he's not even a carrier. Has 0 sign of it, 0 anything. And then my oldest brother, Sergio, 0 carrier, 0 everything. And then DNA match, I'm a 5, or it was a 4 out of 10 match with my twin brother. And then I was a 10 out of 10 match with my middle brother that passed away, Anthony. And then my twin brother's a 10 out of 10 match with my oldest brother. So they're freaking twins. And me and my brother that passed away are twins.
Wow. That's amazing. Because one of the things that really fascinates me about your story is that you were making these big time mature decisions. You were quite young when you came to these conclusions. Would you tell our friends the timeline of your age when all these things happened?
So it was 2005, 2006. I was 14, 15 years old, and, my brother started getting sick, and then we had to figure out, everyone got the little mouth swab to see who's their bone marrow donor and all that. And I won with flying colors, so I was all pumped. Let's go. I do all the surgery, all the protocols. I get the bone marrow aspirate through my bottom hip of the spine. They pull it out, 30 cc's of it, and then they put it under a microscope, and they literally go, "Oh, shit, you're infested with it." And I'm just like, wait, what? So I remember they took my older brother's just over a year older than me. And I remember the doctor coming in, like if he was talking to 2 kindergarten kids. "Hey, Anthony, you need to tell your brother that he needs to do chemo," and like talking to me like that. I'm here 14, 15 years old, like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then Anthony at the top of his lungs screams, "Fuck no, get out." So the doctor turns around and goes to get my parents. And then my brother looks at me and goes, "You're a miracle and ain't shit going to happen to you. I promise you. I had dreams about this already." He's like, do not do the chemo. Do not do the radiation. You're going to be fine. So I was like, shit, that's all I needed to hear. And I refused everything. Child services tried coming after my parents because of that, because I was underage. And, on paper, I'm sick. I'm dying.
Right.
But then you look at me like I'm all fine, all tattooed, like I'm good. So I had to take a test to prove that I was intelligent enough to make my own life decisions at that age.
Wow.
So I was smart enough. I was able to pass everything, and state of Florida had to just, swallow their words and let me do me.
So under normal circumstances, like with your older brother, what are the symptoms of having this disease? Because our friends out there probably know nothing about this.
So this disease doesn't let you produce red blood cells or white blood cells, and that's the oxygen that goes to your body. So pretty much it can target any organ in your body, and failure, and then that one organ will get, the cancer, and it'll just start eating it up, and then it'll turn into leukemia at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So and your hemoglobin and your platelets, you have no platelets. Your platelets are your inside Band-Aid, so you fall and you scrape your knee and you get that scab. That's your inside Band-Aid. That's your platelets. So he pretty much has none of that. And I'll never forget, my brother was playing tennis, and one of the moms there was like, "Oh, he might have an anemia. He might just need more iron or more of this." And then we go to this little hole in the wall called South Philly next to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, where I grew up. And we're sitting there literally like a 4-table filling shop. We're sitting there, it's me and all my brothers. And this random ass old lady walks up. I mean, old, couldn't even look up, walks up to the table, doesn't even look at us, and is like, "You need to take your brother to the hospital. He's anemic, and there's something very wrong with him." We all laughed it off. He's over here perfectly fine. A little ghostly looking, but we're kind of used to it at this point. We go home, and I have an old school Cuban father straight off the boat from Cuba. So when we told him that, he's, the saints and, angels and that culture. So he's like, "That's an angel that just spoke to you guys." He grabs my brother, takes him right to the damn hospital. Not even 1 hour later, the doctors and the hospital was like, we don't know what the hell he has. You need to take him back home, lock him in his room, and do not let anyone near him. Like if he's a zombie, about to freaking bite everyone, and disease everyone. So
wow,
my family are freaking the fuck out. Like, what's going on? 2 weeks we had him locked in like he's a prisoner, sliding food underneath. Like it was crazy. And then they finally figured out what it was. And it was his hemoglobin low. He was walking around with a hemoglobin less than 4. Most people pass out around 12, 13.
Yeah. That's
he's over here playing tennis, whacking, running around, talking shit, bitching me out, bitching my mom, bitching out my brother out. The little brother's bugging the big brother.
You must have amazing DNA. May I take a teeny weeny dog leg for our friends out there? For our friends, fill in your own punchline, and then for our Latino friends out there, what part of Cuba do your people come from? I have dear people to me whose father comes from Santiago de Cuba. Where do your folks come from?
Havana is where my dad came from. My mom was first generation American on her side of the family, where they came from Cuba, and then I'm first generation American on my dad's side of the family. But the whole crazy part about this, when we did that whole DNA thing trying to get my brother his bone marrow transplant, we had to go international. And we found out that our bloodline comes from Italy, northern Milano. So they migrated from Italy and Spain, and then they brought them to Cuba back in the 1800s and whatnot. And that's where my family came from Africa, Italy, and Spain.
No wonder you're so good looking.
Thank you. Yeah.
You
my
Italian
eyebrows.
You got the best of the best.
Best foods, Italian and Cuban food.
Right? No, I agree. I'm Italian, and I love Cuban food. I won't, I mean, and this touches a little bit on my life because my dad had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and went through the whole chemo. He was a firefighter for years. Dead set against cannabis. Dead set against it because he was a firefighter. And I mean, he was born in the 40s and, the whole 9 yards. The last 10 years of his life were really tough. He passed in 2000. But the last 6 months of his life, we actually got him to smoke a joint with us. And I saw that guy sit down after battling cancer for 10 years and not eating and withering away and fucking hammer a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody's business.
So how did you get him to do it?
I just said, Dad, you're gonna fucking die anyways. I mean, that was the relationship we had. It was straightforward, no bullshit, because he was a firefighter. I mean, I grew up with a mom that chased the fires. So I saw my dad pulling bodies out of burnt cars. I saw him pulling children out of houses. But I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so it wasn't uncommon. But he was a very straight shooter, and I just said, "You're gonna fucking die anyways. You smoke cigarettes.
Right.
What's it gonna hurt?"
Exactly.
And after he hammered that pizza, he said, I should have listened to you guys years ago. Literally. But it wasn't really a medicinal aspect at that point, because we're talking 2000. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it medicinally cleared until 2017, 2016.
Well, Colorado, it went medical in 2013, 2014.
Right. Well, Colorado was ahead of us because you guys had Rick Simpson out there pushing
with the Charlotte's Web. They tried. I did that Rick Simpson oil for probably a month, and when I say it made me walk backwards, and my family owned a Cuban restaurant in Lakewood, and I'm taking the Rick Simpson. That thing was fucking me up. I'm sitting there at the register like. People are like, hello, lights are on, but no one's home.
Oh yeah. No, it's true. I mean, we had a very close friend, Darren Miller. If you look up the Darren Miller story, same type of thing. He had stage 4 cancer. He had something else. It slipped my mind. But they basically gave him days to live. Days. And his wife threw him in a car, brought him to Colorado, started him on the RSO treatment. And 6 years later, he was touring the country with us telling his story.
That's badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he did say that. He said, listen, I'll help anybody that's got cancer. I'll help them with the RSL. I'll show them how to make it. I'll even supply it, but don't make any plans for the first 3 months.
Yeah, no, you're
like, he's like, you will think you're dying.
Yeah.
Until you build an immunity to it. But enough about all of them. We're here to talk more about you guys and you, and, you know, specifically being the Miracle Kid. But Jameson, how do you fit into all of this?
Oh, here, just show him this. Show him yours.
I mean, that's his
my brother.
Okay.
His tattoo. So I met him in high school in Florida. I played basketball. These guys played basketball. I met him, and we became friends instantly. And then I learned about his cancer and everything like that. And I just really, you know, we stayed really close throughout the years and everything. And it just, you know, it was just very special to me to have a relationship like that, you know, when I met him in high school and things like that. So his dream, he always told me through it all that he wanted to grow cannabis medicinally to help patients because it helped him so much, even with just eating, like you said, smashing the pizza. You know what I mean? Like as long as you could eat, you get some nutrients in you. So we were just so close. And then when he passed, I was still very close to the family. And, you know, these are my best friends now, his two brothers, you know, so like, you know, we're one big family pretty much. And I played professionally basketball for like 6-7 seasons. So while I was doing that, they owned a restaurant in Colorado. So, you know what I mean? We were both trying to get to that dream of growing for Anthony. It just took some time. And, you know, we're here now and we're doing it. And we're just, you know, trying to tell everybody to never give up in whatever situation you got going on.
Right. And just for our folks watching or the ones that might be listening to us later on, if you want to know more about Miracle Farms, their locations, even their menu, make sure you check the show notes up above or down below because all their information is there.
Now, I got a question for you. For somebody who wanted to go the route that you guys do and you want to start something like that medicinally or whatever reason, how crazy is the red tape to even begin to do something like that?
I mean, it's a lot, but honestly, if you just do it and be diligent, you know what I mean? They have people in place and stuff to help you with it. It's really not a big issue. You know, I mean, each county have different kind of laws of, you know, expansion for cannabis, you know, buildings and things like that. But we're in a really good place here and, you know, in Moffett in the St. Louis Valley. And, I mean, we work hand in hand with, you know, Metric and the government to run our facility, you know, and they're responsive, right? So you follow a checklist and you make sure your stuff passes and do the right things.
And they're really good with coming out here and they'll come out here and be like, hey, this is wrong, you need to add that. You got 30 days, 45 days to do it. So they work with you. They're not going to be dicks and be like, oh, shut you down. You guys didn't have your cameras on.
And it's even easier out here in California. There's a marijuana cannabis farm 1.5 miles from where I'm sitting.
Right.
And no one thinks twice about it. From where I sit, and I'm not exaggerating, you could walk to 6 different cannabis outlets where you can just walk in and get whatever you want. That's how it is here in Southern California.
Wow.
See here it's illegal all the way across the board, other than CBD. Like that's it.
And let our viewers know where you are.
I'm in South Carolina, so done. I mean, I live about, with you being from Florida, you may know the area. I live in Beaufort County, which is known for Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
And I live right next to Paris Island, where they train the Marine Corps.
That's badass.
Paris Island's like 30 seconds from my apartment complex.
Oh, so you ain't got nothing to worry about over there.
Yeah, not really.
or you have a lot to worry about.
Either way, however that works.
I do. But
so, Jonathan, I have a curiosity. So with never, ever, ever, ever taking treatment that traditional medicine says to take, have you ever had symptoms at all? Or is it just completely gone past you?
It's just how I am is how I am. And it's never changed. It's never gone up. It's never gone down. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I get like a sickness or like a common cold and I feel something, I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is it. Like, no, my time. But I get cured every time. My Actually, since I moved out to Colorado, I live at 8,600 something feet above sea level. And every 1,000 feet above sea level makes your body reproduce more blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells. So actually, me being out here, my hemoglobin's at a normal person level. When I go back home and sea level, you can see my hemoglobin lower than average, but that's like indications of my cancer. Out here, I'm a normal person.
You had spoken of starting this journey when you were about 14. How old are you now? How long has this been a part of your life?
I am 33.
That's amazing. That's Miracle Farms is the right name because that's all this is a miracle. I can't think of another reason for this.
When the boys told me that they're naming the farm Miracle Farms, like Miracle Kid after me, I cried like a little girl. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. You guys are so sweet.
Well, now, I mean, stories like this are one of the reasons why we actually started this show years ago, because we know a lot of people that smoke. We know a lot of people that partake, but it's the stories like yours that are the ones that are important to tell because it actually is helping and working.
Yeah.
On a medicinal aspect. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
I want to follow up on what you're saying, Ben. Where along your journey did you figure out that the cannabis was making the difference for you?
When I saw my brother, when they were right before they're about to put him in hospice, I'll never forget the first time they tried putting him in hospice. Excuse me. He had some camera, something down his throat, and they had like checked down his something. I forget what test it was, but he couldn't talk for shit. He was like, he sounded like he smoked 1 billion cigarettes at one time. It's like, ugh. And then hospice comes into the house, and he's like whispering at my dad. He's like, come here, come here. My dad walks in, like, what's up? My dad calls us Boo Boo. He's like, what's up, Boo Boo? He's like, tell them to get the fuck out of my house. So hospice slept there, and then that's when they put him on where it's called Marinol in the medical aspect, Marinol, but it's synthetic THC pill form. Yeah. Once they gave it to him, and I saw how it took off about 15 different freaking pills, I was so furious. I'm like, why do we not start with this? Like, I get it. It's a 48-something billion corporation a year. I understand why they don't want us to stay alive. I get it. But it is so messed up how they don't start with that. So messed up.
It helped late, and we saw so much positive, right away. Right. Medication, thing like that. And then it got into, trying to grow it the clean way. So we could grow it for him a clean way so we know what he was smoking.
Chemicals, stuff that's not flushed, or that Eagle 20 or some crazy pesticide or something.
Right. So he loved the strain Blue Dream, so it was important to get him that strain.
Can you inform our watchers and listeners the difference between, for those who don't know, because not everybody is in the marijuana community. I know a lot of our country is, but not everybody. The difference between smoking a joint or a bowl and THC and gummy and CBD, that these are different products from the same source, but they kind of do different things, don't they?
Yeah. So, you got the indica, sativa hybrids. You do indicas mainly for anxiety attacks, or people with ADHD like I do. I'll be sitting here like, oh, squirrel. That helps me like chill out, but when it comes down to the aspects of the gummies and whatnot, it's just a stronger dose for people that potentially don't like to smoke. Like my mom, she hates to smoke. If I give her a little piece of a gummy, she's over there happier than pig in mud, having a good old time eating popcorn in her cereal.
Yep. That sounds like me, because I don't like smoking, but I do like the gummies, and I like all the edibles, especially like Rice Krispie treats and shit like that. That's my shit.
Exactly.
I wish they'd had stuff like that when I was younger. I think I'm the oldest person in the room.
Probably.
I have COPD now because I was smoking at the height of my smoking about an ounce a week by myself. And I have major health issues because of that I wouldn't have if I would have had access to edibles of some kind or another.
Well, I also think that, like when we, I mean, you're a little older than I am, but when we were growing up, the weed wasn't, the cannabis wasn't regulated.
No.
Like it is now.
Remember Paraquat?
I mean, you're talking like, Thai weed and lamb's breath and things like that, where we probably were smoking a lot of fucking pesticides.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
There's
mean?
no telling what the fuck you were smoking back then. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that shit the first time I ever smoked and I'm 41 now. Back when I first smoked for the first time, I think I was like 14. And that shit felt like, as soon as I took a first hit, it felt like damn fire going through my fucking lungs, and I hated it. It was so harsh and just burnt the hell out of everything.
I was the total opposite. You know, one of the first times I smoked was lamb's breath, and me and my buddy sat there and literally beat the fuck out of each other for a half an hour laughing because it was just we would you know. And that's really, I think I remember going to the store for a Hershey bar after that. But other than that, I don't remember much. You know, but what I'm saying is, like, today's regulations, you know, you're not getting that. You're getting a cleaner,
oh yeah,
you know, more concentrated for sure. Because I'll tell you, some of the shit that I've smoked in the last couple of years, it's like 2 or 3 hits, and I'm that one beer queer, man. No. I am like,
taxi.
I'm like Uber. You know,
one beer queer.
Love you, Jeffrey.
I know. Yeah. We'll talk about that afterwards. Let's talk very briefly. The people at Marijuana Anonymous will tar and feather me if I don't bring up that there can be some negatives for some people. Have you ever felt, either in yourselves, I'll include, because, you know, Jameson, you talk too much. I'll include Jameson in this. Do you ever feel that however you receive the cannabis, does it in any way rob you of ambition or muddle your thinking? Or do you feel that you are in any way addicted? Or do you feel how you use it is like having a drink once in a while?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different for everybody. When I played sports, I had a lot of ankle injuries and surgeries, and doctors wanted to give me Percocets and like that to play through the pain, and I just didn't want to do that. You know, I started down that road, and you know, so when it was a different alternative for me, it was that. But it's not so much of, you know, how much and things like that. It's about what you do when you do smoke. You know what I mean? Like, I work out every day. You know what I mean? Do I wake up in the morning and hit a bowl, smoke a blunt, and work out? No, I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? For myself.
I do.
You know?
Me and my twin brother, like, you getting ready to work out?
I had a joint rolled by my bedside so that I could reach for it in the lighter and get stoned before I opened my eyes.
I mean, that's a special time.
Right.
Well,
you know,
but also I have in my DNA that I'm an addict. So whether it would have been marijuana or liquor, well, someone else was an alcoholic, but that's, you know, and I fight my weight. In fact, the good thing from marijuana for me was I became anorexic. When I was like 19, I weighed 119 pounds. I had a 26-inch waist.
Never heard of anybody being anorexic from weed. Cocaine.
No. You're missing the point. This is before weed.
Right.
Oh. See, my experience with cannabis is a little different than most folks in that I got stoned as a teenager. I got a little buzz, but yeah, so what? And then one day somebody got me baked. And I had a hot fudge sundae that afternoon, and that was the end of Jeffrey Mark being anorexic.
Right,
and ever since then, I've been battling weight because I love to eat.
I want to follow up on the question that you asked, Jeffrey, about, you know, the addiction side of, or the downside of it. And Jameson nailed it right. Nailed it. Hit the nail on the head. Thank you. It does. It falls back on the person, because there are people out there that can have a drink, they can smoke a joint or eat an edible, and it's all good. You have people that use it medicinally, that need to use it medicinally, but then you do have people out there that abuse.
Just like anything, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Like abuse.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, like me, I use it, but do I use it every day? No. Do I use it every week? No. Do I use it every month? No. But I have severe anxiety issues.
No.
So if I start having anxiety issues, boom, I'm freaking kosher. Or if I start having insomnia, another thing, I like my freaking indica because that shit will put my ass out. Done.
Yeah.
See,
it's important. It's very important.
But I may only use it 6 times a year.
Yeah, I'm the total opposite.
And I can put it down and not even worry about it again.
Yeah, I'm a sativa. When I smoke, it's sativa.
Or no, if I was going to do it, if I'm going to do it in a social setting and I'm going to do it to hang out, yeah, I'm going to do sativa. But for all my other stuff, it's going to be indica because of my anxiety and my issues with insomnia.
Right. And just to kind of touch on all that, I use it strictly now when I'm being creative. So I rolled a joint a month and a half ago. It's still sitting in my ashtray. I haven't touched it.
Boy, if I could be creative on that shit, I'd be smoking that shit all the time. Because
welcome to our show.
I'm in a damn band and play music, but you get me smoking, I can't write a goddamn first fucking note because I'm just sitting there watching the goddamn TV. I'm gonna be putting the bass down and just
listen. Everything that was created that you guys have known about us and what we've done with the comic books and the TV series and all that shit started on a beach in St. Lucia where I couldn't bring cannabis, but I found somebody prominent on the island that could get it for me, and it all started there.
I've heard this story.
Yes, you have. When we were being interviewed. But wait a minute. The show's not about us. It's about them.
I was just going to say, let's get back to our guests.
Well, they look like they needed a quick break. They Jameson needed a drink. And, I think is it Jonathan?
Yes.
Jonathan was rolling another blunt.
Oh, no, I was actually petting my dog. He just woke up.
Oh, well, so he was petting his dog. So they needed a quick break. I was giving them their 3-second break.
Oh, what a pretty boy.
Wow, nice dog.
Yeah, that was called a quick commercial break.
Yeah. Is he full blood?
Yeah, he's a blue nose terrier. Yeah, that's one of our 8 dogs.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Tell me about quality of life, Jonathan. What is your, aside and apart from, and I 100% support your business and what you're doing. I think it's wonderful. Because I've seen too many people suffering who didn't need to when they had medical issues. But your personal lives a little bit. All right, so you've overcome or you're living with this disease where there is no side effects and no issues, thank God. What is your life like?
Oh, man. What I wake up. So thanks to Jameson and Miracle Farms and, the boys out here were able to retire mom and dad. And they live with me at my house, and so I wake up to mom and dad every morning. And it's the best thing, Latino. So there's coffee in the morning. The house is freaking clean. It's just every day for me to wake up to mom and dad. I love it. Go let the dogs out, relax a little bit, smoke my morning joint. I'm a tea person. I don't drink coffee. Drink my morning tea. Play with my dogs. We just had 6 puppies. 2 of our dogs.
Congratulations.
No, they're all gone, thank goodness. Little dinosaurs. But no, it's just really relaxed out here. We live up in the mountains. I call it hippie town. Everyone, even I'll go to the store and people are still barefoot and there's, a foot of snow outside. I'm like, it's crazy. There's a bunch of stupas. It's very meditation, very spiritual out here. So it's very relaxed, my life. We're about 3 hours or an hour away from any major city that's not even big. It's still a hippie town over there. We're about 3.5, 4 hours away from big time Denver. So it's very quiet out here, Smoke my joint with my tea at nighttime, look at the stars. It's awesome out here. It's very relaxed. I don't really go out much, We're really focused on this business and trying to put our footprint on this earth, and letting people know never to give up and just push forward with your lives, So I really wanted to share my brother's story, our story. That's our main goal in life right now, just to show people, hey, you can do it.
Right.
And Jameson,
go ahead.
No, and Jameson, you dropped a bomb on us that nobody picked up.
Oh, I
played professional basketball. Could you give us a couple of minutes about that? Because, yes, sir, that takes talent.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of hard work, for sure. So,
For whom did you play, and how did that come about?
I played professionally overseas in Argentina, in Greece, and in Canada for a lot of years. I had a lot of injuries in between, but I still had a good run at it for a while, shorter than I thought. But, it was a good time in my life. So I was able to, make a little bit of good money so I could, do things to try to make, the dream come true for us. So, but I mean, these guys are subtle for sure. I mean, it started with living in storage containers, right? And doing things like that and, sacrificing, trying to grind 10, 12-hour days, building greenhouses and renovating storefront train. We have these 2 80-foot train cars on a property.
Nice.
And one
that's kind of going into the question I was going to ask is what is like a typical day for you guys? Like when you wake up and go to work, like what does that typical day look like?
I mean, we got to open up the greenhouse, when the sun comes up. So, you're talking 7 a.m., get things ready, check the temperatures, get ready to water, things like that, mix our nutrients, We have an extraction lab on site as well. So we'll go over there, check our ovens for different, products we're doing in the extraction lab, and we're just, it's an everyday thing when you're growing cannabis.
Sure. Like any farmer.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's a lot of just maintaining.
You go away for 2-3 days, your crop could be gone. So,
right.
We've been grinding for like 3-4 years now. We built this ourselves, the greenhouse, everything around here, we're doing renovation for our dispensary, which opens in hopefully just under a month from now. So we'll have that going on. We have a lounge beside it, so we're trying to do, private events, lounge. You can also buy some cannabis at the dispensary.
Yeah, because the 2 trains are on train tracks on our property, and they're connected to each other. So you go up, make a left, you're inside the dispensary. You make a right, you're in a 1941 observation car. Beautiful, all original leather, not original bar, all the glasses still up, and we'll have that like a smoke lounge open for the public. They can go in there for free. Go in there and smoke your stuff. It fits about 56 people in there. I mean, it's pretty badass.
Right. So yeah, but we're out here, in, close to the sand dunes, where there are a lot of tourists go through and stuff like that. So you have to come out here kind of wanting to be in this kind of environment with the hot springs and things like that. So we're trying to bring people out here, tell them the story. We want to give tours of our facility, do some teaching and education behind the cannabis and, different strains that help with different things, not just for the stoners, right?
Well, how did you learn? You've dropped all through our wonderful. I'm enjoying the hell out of this, guys. I'm just letting you know. But a lot of scientific information. How did you guys learn all of that?
So
I mean, just wanting to know how.
Man, everything's free on the internet, and I won't even say this, but my twin brother, I won't admit it to his face, but he's low-key a genius. Right. He's got that photographic memory. He reads it once, it's in there forever.
I can relate.
He brings in logic and reason into everything that he does. He gets the good part of it and then the shitty part of it, and he figures out the best way to, we call him the problem solver.
He's
taking us to another level. That guy, when inside the extraction lab, he'll separate molecules, atoms, bring out the terpenes, and then pull out liquid or pure diamonds that are 99.9% THC. And then he'll liquefy them and then add the terpenes back, which is actually one of our pre-rolled infused joints that's our number 1 seller in the market. We're about 16 dispensaries right now that love our pre-rolled joints.
Wow.
Liquid diamonds.
Amazing. That was going to be one of my questions was you're opening your own dispensary. So I'm assuming you guys have a product line. What are some of your best products? What your most sellable products that you have?
We're in the pre-roll game right now. We had some like live disposable pens for people because this is like ski country out here a little bit, right in the mountains.
Yeah.
So you try to serve to everybody a little bit. People on the mountains like to have, a clean pen they can handle.
It's all about convenience when you're boarding,
Right, different things like that. Pre-rolls we felt like was a big thing in the market. But you weren't getting a clean pre-roll of just flower or clean, wax or something with it or diamonds. It seemed like it was a little messy. So we really wanted to try to target the pre-roll, whole industry where we could kind of make our mark and kind of go from there. But I mean, everything we do come out with, every store wants it now that we're in, right? So it's a good.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys allowed to distribute outside of your state?
We are not allowed to. No.
All in state.
All in state.
Right now.
There's over 700 dispensaries in Colorado. So it's a big market, but you have to get out there. And I mean, getting through the corporate ones are a little bit trickier, as you can imagine, obviously, so you got to find a lot of the ones on the outskirts of the city that really like your product, try to build your brand that way. I mean, we're a team of 5, this family, and we do the amount of work of, probably a team of 500,
right.
We're all in it for the same reason. So that's why it's working, right? We're just,
we call it, you got to know your why. If you don't know your why, then why the fuck are you doing it?
Right. And it seems
not to be vulgar about it.
Sorry. No. It's an 18 plus.
Why the fuck are you doing it?
It's an 18 plus show with a 21 plus.
Perfect.
If you know how often we talk about masturbation on this show, you'd know you could say anything.
Here we go. You open the door.
It's just a word, masturbation. Come on.
Do you guys feel as though you are making the footprint that you wanted to make?
I mean, we're not even close, to be honest.
Okay.
We're not even close.
We barely got our heel down.
You know what I mean? It's, it took us a year and a half to start to get through understanding the red tape and the testing process and to actually come out with a product that we wanted to. There was a lot of testing before we were actually like, you know what, let's give this to we like the numbers, we like the flavor, we like the effects of it. Let's give it to the public now.
Yeah, we're one of the few, I think we might be the only actually pre-rolled joint that does, if the flower is Divine Kush Breath, we'll make liquid diamonds Divine Kush Breath. So you're getting exactly what you want. Most of these shit, they'll put everything together. It's like, oh yeah, I got Divine Kush Breath flower, but then it's got this wax in there that had 8 different strains in it, and you're sitting here all like loopy,
Right,
so you know exactly what to get. If it's an indica, it's a fucking indica. If it's a sativa, it's a freaking sativa. It's the same with hybrid.
We're specific about.
And we did that because my mom will hit like a waxing with it, and just get loopy, wanted to vomit, get dizzy. Like, was that a fucking sativa in there? It's like, oh, maybe the wax had some. So that's what made us go strain specific, because it was making my mom dizzy.
Very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
There needs to be a book written about this. I'm lighting a fire under you guys. No pun intended.
That kind of goes to an old story with me. Whenever I first started getting into edibles, was I tried a brownie one time, and I wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't a lot at all. And this is before I understood like sativa, indica, and all that. And I ate this brownie, and I have never been sicker in my freaking life. And I got dizzy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was like wanting to freaking throw up, and I was dry heaving and shit. And I never understood it because I'd never been like that on, doing anything of cannabis before ever, especially edibles. And I was like, why the fuck do I feel this way? And I never understood it.
Just too much. Like, who's making it and how much dosage is in there.
Right.
Like it's a whole thing. So when we got into the market, it was like, if we're going to come up with products, but there's also products that are low in THC that people work better for people. It's not about a high THC thing, and it's not about the high mark. That's nice to go after, and you can try to get the awards and things like that.
That's more tourist.
But think of the sentence. Think of the phrase you just said, that are better for people. That you guys actually care. Not so much about profit, but providing the best kind of product for what the person actually needs. I think that's brilliant. I really.
No, we're going to start a nonprofit here soon once the dispo's open, so we can get.
That was my next question.
Straight to the nonprofit.
If people want to help, if people want to be a part of you in some financial fashion, you're putting something into place where they can do that.
For sure, because one of our big goals that we really want to do is really go to the all children's hospitals across the United States. And the one thing that really fucked with my brother's brain, because think about it, you're a teenager going through puberty, all you're thinking about is girls or whatever you like, and you have over here and you're stuck in this room, and all of a sudden this guy comes in with a fucking guitar, like, you want to sing a song? It's like, fuck no, I don't want to sing a song. I'm going through chemo, I'm freaking, my head hurts. So we want to go to all children's, upgrade their therapy room so badass. I mean, virtual reality. We're talking the whole 9 yards with the paint everywhere. Make it so like if they're not there, so they actually looks forward to something. Awesome. You know, these kids are sitting there 6-10 months, did not get out of their beds. They go there and their arms and legs are pencils. You know, and through high school, my older brother, he loved watching us play basketball, and we were kind of a big deal back in our hometown. So somehow, I don't know how he did it, but he got this television company come televise our games so he can watch them in the hospital because, you know, streaming back then wasn't a thing.
Right.
You know, this was 2008, 2007. You know, so he's watching us play. Next thing you know, everyone in the hospital is like, oh, who's that? So now they start rooting for me and my twin brother. And then we fly out, and I had way longer hair back then. It was like the High School Musical era, you know? So like basketball. And so we go there, and I'll never forget, these kids were so pumped to meet another kid that's 13, 14 years old with the same cancer, with long hair, playing basketball on ESPN. It was like almost like a celebrity. And these parents are coming up to me, bawling their eyes out, going, my son hasn't came out of their bed in 6-7 months. Because you walk past that window and like, look, there's that miracle kid. These kids are jumping out of freaking bed trying to see me. So now I made it a thing. Every time I went in there, I would go meet every kid, talk to them. And I still talk to one. His name's Jeremy, and he's a survivor. Crazy scar. He had like a liver or something, and then he fought Fanconi. I mean, the dude went through hell, but he survived. And I still talk to him to this day. He actually got a 4-ant tattoo on his chest for my brother that passed away. You know?
You're spreading hope, which is the best thing you could possibly be doing.
Yep, right. And that's what we got tattooed on both all our best friends' wrists. I will hope, Isaiah 40:31.
And I have a thing right here on my wall. Hope, hope, yep. Hope. There is a book here, and I'd like to be a part of it. So get Ben to give you my contact information.
Yes,
because
sir.
I am a best-selling author after all.
Let's do it.
Because I believe in this.
It's special, you know, and you got to experience it for yourself too. Come out to Colorado.
Yeah, we'd love to host you out here. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
the movement. It's just
I think I put that in the email. You know, when you open the dispensary, you know, just get a sponsor to fly us out there. We'll come out and do a signing.
Yeah,
I'll sing.
That would be badass because we also want to have concerts, reggae festivals. We want to put a stage on top of the train, and then everyone around it. You know, reggae concerts, rock concerts, country.
I will do a jazz concert for you.
So I got you on the rock and metal. All you gotta do is contact me, and I got you.
My uncle Arturo Gomez, he's the lead person for KUVO jazz station in Colorado.
Wow,
excellent.
We do jazz festivals every year with them at 5 Points. It's a beautiful art festival they do.
I will do a salute to Ella Fitzgerald for you.
That would be amazing.
Wow. You know,
be my pleasure.
Out here.
Yeah.
Just pay my way. That's all I ask.
We'll get it.
That's
we'll
what I said.
Yeah. And then we can do a podcast inside the train.
We can do a live feed. We do it on the road all the time.
That'll be sweet.
You know?
Well, I think it was Providence that put all of us here together today.
Yeah, right? I believe everything happens for a reason, 100%.
Because I believe in you guys. You know, I was a little hesitant when I got the information about you. I was like, all right, no. You are the real thing. And I'm so proud of you because I am a day or two older than you are. So proud of what you're accomplishing.
I'm very specific when I book shows.
Yes, sir.
Very specific, especially when it comes to cannabis. Because in the early years of our show, we had people reach out and they had these stories, you know, and they were heartfelt stories. Don't get me wrong. But it was just like, this dude is nothing but like a legit stoner. just wanted to come on the show, get high, and talk about nothing that had to do with anything,
right?
With an actual message behind it.
Yeah.
You know, and Jeffrey, you nailed it earlier when you said, you know, you guys are about the product for the people over the profit, which is huge. You know, unfortunately, Massachusetts started out that way. It's not so much that way right now. But that's why I went entertainment side of cannabis instead of trying to grow.
Yeah, for sure.
But Miracle Farms obviously has a vision.
Right.
And I am bowled over by you guys. Seriously.
Thank you. Yeah, our visions extend over the horizons, that's for sure. And it's not about us, it's about the people we love and care about. Why not? Actually, look, my dad just walked in. You guys say hello to my dad. They can't see you. Come over here. This is, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing this.
You're gonna put him in the seat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
We call him the old man.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and I'm probably older than you are too. So,
yeah, I'm right there with you.
You look distinguished.
Which one?
All
Jeffrey,
three of you
Jeffrey,
guys.
Jeffrey got his bling bling on.
Yeah.
We try. We try.
It's
try hard.
working. It's working. This is so cool.
Muchas gracias, señor.
So my dad does all the phone calls for Miracle Farms. He's the one that gets us into all these damn dispensaries. He's the one that rides over there. He does the drop-offs. He's, me and him, we call ourselves the Road Warriors. So
Nice.
It's like the duo.
A short day is 14 hours.
So now that we have Dad on here real quick, and everybody just left you here.
Peace.
I had to close the door. The dog got it.
A quick question for you. How do you feel about the success of what's happening for your family?
It's really surreal, especially coming from my background. I come from a communist country, raised in Miami, Florida. Imagine, pot's a no-no when we're growing up. Oh, my goodness, these guys are potheads. Degenerates of earth. And here we are today. It's legalized. I'm 60 years old. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm ecstatic. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see their hard work starting to pay off. But honestly, we haven't scratched the surface. Right. We're aiming a lot higher so that we could have a better impact on society.
Well, I like the way he said that.
We are grateful to you. We really are.
I do too, because there's still a lot that don't see it like that. Like they're not actually grasping the whole picture on this is oh my God, with them freaking balloons. The amount of people that don't understand that it's a freaking plant and what it could actually do for you health wise. And it just blows my mind that people are still in this old ass mindset of, oh, that's a drug. No, that's not a drug. It's a damn plant.
It's nature's medicine, man.
Yeah.
It's given to us. And, regrettably, we saw firsthand, I don't know if Jonathan shared with you.
Yes.
What his brother, my son, went through. And
he did.
And the beneficial impact that this had on him. It got to the point where the doctors would look at me and say, hey, can you take him home for the weekend and do whatever you do? Just the attitude, the appetite, the lack of depression, the sense of belonging to society, not captivated away because you've got an illness. Now you don't belong to anybody. Nobody's allowed to interact with you. So the benefits are mind-boggling, and the stigmatism of, yes, oh, this is a drug. This is the gateway to hell, right? This is the gateway. No. I'll take this 10 out of 10 times over alcohol any day of the week.
Right.
I say I'm a big fan because, like me, it's like if you look at what like pharmaceuticals do to people and like these painkillers and shit like that have got people strung the hell out. They're crushing this shit and turning it into liquid and shooting in their damn veins. And I'm like, really?
And stealing whatever they got to steal to be able to go get another one tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle. I ain't never heard anyone getting too high and going to rob a 7-Eleven.
No, I mean, I got high. They got too high once and murdered a plate of Twinkies, but I don't know if that counts.
Well, let me give you a compliment, senor. Look at your children. Look at what they're accomplishing. Look at the dedication they have to helping others. I wish I'd had a father like you. Because obviously you've done a tremendously good job.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the same thing.
I've become a sobber, so I better get off before I cry.
He will. He's going to go outside and cry.
I so appreciate you guys taking the time to hear our story. And
we're going to be doing more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Always an open invite here at Miracle Farms. You guys be blessed, man. Have a great day.
You too.
You see where I get my good looks from, huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was going to say it, but yes.
so many people we've been in the malls and back home in Florida, and these like elderly ladies will run up to him like, Tony Danza. I'm like, oh,
He does look like Tony a little bit.
Now that you say that, yeah.
Only he's a lot nicer.
Yeah, a lot nicer, yeah.
Well, Tony should smoke.
You're assuming evidence that's not in the courtroom that you think he doesn't.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. What can I say? I'm at your disposal. I would like to help. So this conversation above and beyond our show today is going to continue because it's necessary. And miracles don't happen everywhere all the time. We got to spread them around.
Right.
That's true.
No, absolutely. So we are coming up on time. So what I'll do is, Jags, do you have any last questions for these fine gentlemen before we let them go back to work?
No, I sure don't. We covered a lot tonight.
It was good. Went by quick though.
It always does. It always does. That's why we got to, figure out a way to get us out to Colorado, do a live show, do a signing.
We'd love for you guys to come for the grand opening for the Dispo. That'd be awesome.
We're gonna do something big. We got another couple bands. Serenation is a good friend of ours. They're a reggae band out of Florida.
Very cool.
So we're all about putting our people on that are, about the right things.
Well, yeah. And I mean, you guys are spreading the positive message of this in your way, just like we spread it in ours, which is through entertainment,
right.
To break that stigma, as your dad said, to help break that stigma. And, you can see it. You can see it happening. It's not happening as fast as we all want it to, but it is happening.
Right.
Jeffrey, any last questions or comments for our amazing guests?
Well, hopefully you've learned I'm not just another pretty face. I'm repeating what I've already said. I think this is so important. And with all of the caveats about my background and what I, Marijuana Anonymous, et cetera, what you're doing, bringing hope. There isn't a higher calling than that. In bringing hope, you're spreading love.
Absolutely. Right.
And in today's world, boy, do we need that now.
Ain't that the truth?
Say that again.
So from my heart to yours, thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you for having us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No worries, man. We'll have to do a follow-up later in the year where you guys, want to, or maybe a live show from the dispensary. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That'd be awesome.
We never know.
That's right. We made the connection now, so it doesn't stop here, right?
Right. It never stops with the connection. The show is just the beginning. Actually, the connection was through Instagram, I believe. It was you, Jameson.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I said this before. We got a small team, so I run Instagram, and I'm not a social media person, first off, you know what I mean?
Right.
I like being on the camera when I was on the basketball court, but other than that, you know what I mean? I like to keep to myself, work, you know what I mean? Things like that. So
he throws me in front of the camera. He's like, go.
Well, maybe from now on you can throw me in front of the camera because I know what I'm doing.
But the bottom line is it's a family thing. So everybody, the camera's on the entire group. It's on Miracle Farms.
Right.
And speaking of Miracle Farms, so where do you do the social media, Jameson, where do you guys like interacting with your clientele, your fans, your friends?
I mean, for stores and like getting sales and things like that, it's, you pretty much have to contact each store, contact the buying manager, try to cold call them to make sure, and then try to sell them the brand and, the samples. And then if they get samples, it might take them a year. So you gotta find different ways to kind of say like, hey, we're doing something here. There's something behind this. You need to try it. So
there's
a lot of that.
We put on our packaging, never give up. The 4 amp for my brother. So when I go there, I get to, share a little bit of light in a dark tunnel if someone's going through something, give all the employees free joints. So it's more than just cannabis,
Right.
Yes,
So now if somebody wants to get a hold of you, where can they get a hold of you?
The Instagram's the best place. Miracle Farms, Colorado. Things on there. We have updates, that are going to be happening for the dispensary launching and things like that. We have a website up. It does need to be updated and redone because, we have even merch and things like that. And people want to buy it and stuff. We just give it away, to be honest. We've given away over probably 5,000, things of merch. Like just, trying to spread the word, right? It's not what it's really about. We understand in the long run, if the merch is out there to spread the word and it's financially doing something, great, and then we can put that in a nonprofit and keep going and give away more.
Right.
So, we understand giving away is the best way to spread this. All comes around if you do it the right way.
Right. So, my man Jags,
what's up?
Where can people find you?
Hey, I will actually be live again tonight in like an hour. You can go over to Sound Injection on Facebook or YouTube. Tonight, we'll actually be on with the deathcore, death metal badasses out of Omaha, Texas, Burial Path. So we will have them on tonight. We are on every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Fridays, we're on same time. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays. Sound Injection.
The plug.
Right. Jeffrey.
I'm on. Well, you can find me on Facebook, Jeffrey Mark, with spelling you see right down below there, and Jeffrey Mark Showbiz on Instagram, and I'm on Blue Sky now. I have my Jeffrey Mark Plays Ella podcast, where I play Ella's music every week on a different theme and tell you what's really, really, really cool about it. And books coming out and stuff happening, and I'm here with you every week, and very happily so.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask about the books. I'm curious to, can't wait for that.
Well, I have a new literary agent, so the book I'm writing about Lucille Ball's career is taking a new direction, which is, I know everybody says it's so exciting. It really is exciting me to go in a different direction with something like, ooh, what a much better idea than what I had. And I am waiting to finish that before I spend 3 days finishing my memoir, The Devil Was Born in Brooklyn. So look for those two things coming from me. And I have a feeling there'll be some more books coming after that.
Yeah, I was thinking, I had an idea maybe after those what we could do. Maybe something.
Right. So, for us, just go to stilltoking.com, Toking with the Dead on Facebook. Just go to stilltoking.com. Everything you need to know about us is there, from the comics to the novels to the TV series to the animation to these shows, which are all archived. All 6 seasons are archived there, so you can go back and watch any one of your favorites, or you can go to any podcast platform and listen to us there. I want to thank Jags for hanging out with us this evening, as always.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
I want to thank the man himself, Mr. Jeffrey Mark.
A pleasure. Love having be had.
And of course, want to thank the guests, Jameson and Jonathan from Miracle Farms, the Miracle Kid himself. Make sure you look them up, give them a follow, check out their product. If you're in Colorado, stop by and say fucking hi to them. Don't be lazy.
Get a tour.
Just don't be lazy. It's that simple. Just get off your ass, go out, say hi, get a product. Who knows?
Go outside, touch the grass.
Right? To all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can come up here and do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe, if I can hit the right button.
Step it up, bring it down and lose it. Come on.